What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Boeckle Bros channel where we talk all things real estate. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Landon. And in today's episode, we're going to walk you through our biggest luxury flip yet. So let's talk big deals and big profits today.
It is not too often that we get to brag and talk a little bit about our super big wins, but also give some advice and tips and tricks along the way.
No, it doesn't. It does not happen often. So let's start by saying, with big risk comes big reward, but also comes big risk. So if you're not at the level where you can flip properties and feel comfortable enough taking on this type of leverage, then we hope that today's video inspires you to keep growing and keep pushing to the next level.
And we hope that if you're on the brink with your business of taking that next step into luxury flipping, that this video gives you the confidence to do so.
Hey, remember, we're always here to help. So if you have any questions for us, make sure to drop a comment below and we'll be sure to answer. And before we start, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to our channel.
Okay, let's go A to Z on our biggest flip yet. We're going to cover the acquisition of the deal, the construction of the deal, the financing, ultimately the list and sale, and finally the profit on our biggest deal yet.
I love it. Time and time again, you're going to hear us talking about being the MLS kings here in Vegas. So, of course, once again, we bought another incredible deal directly off the MLS.
We bought this flip straight from the multiple listing service, and we did so by making solid, confident offers.
So that's right. This property was listed on the MLS for $1.1 million. Our acquisitions manager or team locked it up for $915,000. Now, the initial ARV or after repair value on the property, we anticipated was going to be $1.35 million.
So right there, just before we go any farther, you can tell there's some good negotiations being had when we buy a property like this.
Right. We locked this deal up for $195,000 under the listed sales price.
So let's go into the financing of this property. The way that we were able to purchase this is through using a private money lender, which you may have heard in other videos of ours. So check those out below. Now, this private money lender allowed us to use no dollars out of our own pocket. They funded 100% of the purchase, 100% of the rehab and all the costs, and we took a profit split at the end of the day, which happened to be 50-50.
The private money lender is always the best way for us to finance these high-end luxury flips. Reason being is these are big price tags we're talking about. It would take a lot of money out of our pockets to fund these. So with the private money lender funding 100% of them and us taking 50% of the net profits with no money out of pocket, at the end of the day, it's a huge win for our company.
So once we actually bought and closed on the house, our next step was to get in there with our actual contractor and design and come up with a remodel for the property. And based off our initial walk with him and our designs, that remodel bid came out to about $175,000.
Right, that was our initial estimate. We love designing these high-end remodels ourselves. We've talked about it in a couple other videos, but Jesse and I do all of the design on all of our flips, along with our construction management team. Now, when you're designing these high-end, elegant luxury remodels, you really do have to be a little bit more meticulous. You have to use higher-end materials. You have to use a little bit more detail when walking the properties and putting these rooms together and making them as elegant and as high-end as possible. And when they're finished, you got to make sure that they're finished from the contractors with top-notch quality product.
Now, that being said, as the project progresses, we may come up with new ideas or a different way to do something. So ultimately with this project, once the construction was finished and we had some changes made, our total remodel budget came out to about $200,000.
So we usually included an initial construction timeline of 90 days for a flip like this, for these high-end flips. This one actually came out to only 82 days. So yeah, we went a little bit over budget, up to $200,000, but we nailed our timeline right on. And that's super important in a market that's moving as fast as the one today.
And even though our construction remodel budget went up a little bit, I think it was well deserved because we made really good decisions on adding some cool features in the house.
Absolutely.
Now, once all that was done, It's nail biter time.
Right.
It's time to list the property and put it on the market for the public to see.
It's one of the most stressful events for you and I for some reason. Maybe because we have such a close attachment to every investment
Perhaps.
and every property. But it's really the telltale sign of, one, how is the actual product? How did we do designing the product?
Do people like our ideas?
Right. Do people like our color schemes and our theme of the house? That's a big thing for us to know because, hey, we put our hearts into it. Also, did we do a good job analyzing the initial numbers of the deal? That's what we want to know.
That's probably an even bigger one where, did we buy this right? Did we think about the sales price right? Did we run the comps right? So at the end of the day, are we set up to actually make a profit? Lucky for us, the market played a major role in the listing side and sales side of this property. When we initially bought it, like you said, we bought it off of an ARV estimated at $1.35 million. Now, when we actually went to list it, the market had appreciated, different comps had come
How much?
and sold. We listed it for $1.6 million.
$1.6 million. That's $250,000 more than we initially thought we were going to sell the house for. Guys, this is insane. That is a massive increase in value due to the appreciation of market. Best of all with this property, we sold this deal one day on market to a full cash buyer, full price, $1.6 million.
So with the design and the listing and sales price, I think we did a pretty decent job.
I think we nailed it on this one. Okay, so let's break it down and go into the final numbers of the deal and talk about profits. We bought this property for $915,000. After all said and done with construction, we're into it for $200,000. Selling costs and interest or holding costs adds up to about $100,000. And at the end of the day, we sold it for $1.6 million. So what did we make?
$375,000.
$375,000 net profit on this deal. That is a huge, huge number.
Now, let's break it down a little bit even further.
Right.
We did have a private money lender on a 50-50 split. So what does that mean for us at the end of the day?
$187,500.
That 500 is real important.
Yes, it is. So you always have to weigh risk and rewards when making business decisions. But don't be scared to take a little risk every now and again with your career. It's how you get to the next level. It's how you get to the next step. So go out there and take action and take some risk.
We hope that everything we've covered in this video today gives you guys the confidence and the inspiration to go out and achieve bigger things in your business. And if you have any questions about what we covered, please drop us a comment below, and we would super appreciate if you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel.
So until then, we'll see you on the flip side.